I want to talk now about the difference between guilt and shame. The difference between guilt and shame, classically, and it's true, what you classically hear is that guilt is saying I did something bad, and shame is saying I am bad. So being bad, air quotes, means you see yourself really as incapable of changing or doing better. Okay, that's what's so bad about that. That remorse and regret that you likely feel with guilt can motivate you to apologize, to stop doing a negative behavior or start making positive changes. Brene Brown calls guilt healthy shame, and when we feel guilt, it again can actually move us to do something reparative, apologize, something healthy, create a new behavior. But when we're feeling shame, often we're just paralyzed, right? We're just paralyzed, and it really keeps us locked in those unhealthy behaviors. Let's talk about the difference between shame and toxic shame. Shame helps us stay in our lane. So you could think of that as maybe the healthy shame. So I know Brene Brown calls guilt the healthy shame, but I think even within the shame category, right, there's toxic and there's like a healthier on point feeling. And that, again, kind of more healthy shame or guilt keeps people ethical and following along, right, with whatever the expected behaviors are. So when you feel that more healthy shame or guilt, you want to get better, you want to grow, you want to make changes, you want to apologize. That's the difference. But toxic shame, totally different animal. It is a very harmful state of mind that undermines mental health, undermines it. Toxic shame, it's like it uproots our very foundation. If you even ever had a foundation, and it really becomes a pervasive habit of thought. And what I think is so key about toxic shame is that it leaves you feeling helpless and hopeless. With guilt or quote unquote healthy shame, we have moments where we just feel like, oh my God, I'm such a piece of crap. And oh my God, I can't believe I did that. I'm never going to be able to walk into that room again. I'm never going to be able to talk to that person again. We get into a minute of catastrophizing and feeling helpless and hopeless, but then we shift and we get motivated and we do something else. So that's the difference. The toxic shame really is that helpless, hopeless feeling that's permanent. Because again, if I'm a piece of shit, I can't do anything. So you think things like that. I'm a horrible human who doesn't deserve love versus, oh my gosh, I can't, face palming, right? I can't believe I did that. And now how do I make amends? How do I fix that? See the difference, the action? I'm broken. I'm just broken, Abby. I'm broken versus, I've never learned skills of how to be healthy in a relationship. I really need to work on that. Man, I cannot give up on myself. I'm a failure. Everything I touch turns to crap versus, everyone messes up and I just haven't figured this out yet. I love the word yet, right? Just haven't gotten there yet. Our deep need to be loved and accepted, this again, DNA imperative, can drive really this all-encompassing fear of being abandoned or rejected. So when someone experiences toxic shame, the last thing they want to do is tell anyone about it. They don't want to share it. So because they don't want to be rejected. I don't want to share this thing and show how vulnerable or horrible I am. People will reject me, even, right? So we keep the secrets and hide or try to stay below the radar with our true feelings, our true wants, our thoughts. And this creates more disconnection with those people around us. And it deepens our shame. It's a toxic, unending cycle of pain and loneliness. Do you see how this plays on itself? Do you see how this, rolls around? So again, healthy shame, guilt, it's a temporary thing. Maybe you lied to a friend and you're feeling guilty about it and some shame about it. But after you apologize, the shame and guilt lessen. The longer you act within sort of a normal range of telling the truth, or whatever that is for you, the more distant the shame becomes until it's either gone entirely, you can't even remember, or maybe it's an occasional twinge when you remember the situation. But with toxic shame, that feeling is there all or most of the time. It's somewhere. That toxic shame that's a toughie. And that feeling, if it's there most of the time, you decide I'm a liar or I am unworthy. Or it may, and let me say this, you might have never done anything, but you were raised to believe you're not worthy of love. So you think this is a personality trait or defines you in some way. It's who you are. And although you have no control over how you were parented as a kid or what a coach yelled at you when you were a teen, you've integrated those words of others into your self-concept, and they feel permanent. You might even think, because you might have been told by a parent that you were responsible for their reactions to you. So you really think, oh no, Abby, I did some bad things when I was a kid. And maybe you eventually did do some things as a kid. That it is still not okay for that kind of parenting. It's not. And again, one begets the other in many ways. So, and we know, of course, that children of any kind of abuse feel shame, even though they are the last ones at fault for what's happened to them. Or maybe you grew up really poor or with an alcoholic parent and felt shame about either of those things. Never had kids over to your house to play and because of those things, and kept a lot of secrets about your home life for whatever or for some other reason. All of these circumstances can easily become internalized toxic shame.